These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain, innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell.
Marijuana is not the kind of thing that ought to be legalized. It ought not to be minimized.
Marijuana makes people retarded.
Debauchery, violence, murder.
Good people don't smoke marijuana.
I find it hilarious that the Conservatives who are staunchly against weed are the ones who could benefit most from a little puff puff pass.
I'm not able to be rushed this fast. It makes me nervous.
Come on, Jeff. A joint would help ease the heartache of the trials and tribulations of your relationship with Donnie. I mean, you two are like the Ross and Rachel of the White House. And Anne, if there's anyone in the world who could do with kicking back and letting their horns down with a spliff, it's you. But despite this, Conservatives across America are applauding Jeff Sessions' war on weed. Why, you may ask? Because one, as Coulter proves, they are absurdly misinformed and are still getting their information on the effects of weed from the likes of Spicy.
The opioid addiction crisis blossoming in so many states around this country. The last thing that we should be doing is encouraging people. There is still a federal law that we need to abide by when it comes to recreational marijuana.
You're right, guys. Sorry. I mean, weed does kill over 33,000 Americans each year due to overdose, right? They're basically the same thing. But two, and most importantly, they are mind-numbingly absurd hypocrites. Because remember, Conservatives are the ones screaming from the rooftops about free market and cutting taxes. Yet they're blatantly ignoring the latest reports from Colorado and Oregon, both states that are benefiting enormously, hugely, some would say, from legalizing marijuana. As of this past May, Colorado has reportedly collected nearly $500 million in marijuana taxes and used the money for things such as school construction, regulation and enforcement of marijuana laws, substance abuse treatment programs, as well as public education campaigns. Meanwhile, Oregon collected $60 million in marijuana taxes in 2016 alone. Not to mention that the money saved from not incarcerating people for smoking weed only further adds to the money in the piggy bank that could be spent, launching a statewide ultimate frisbee league instead of being wasted like the tax dollars spent refilling Trump's private jet to Mar-a-Lago and back. Now, one legislator who sees the light is Cory Booker. Get it? Light, as in like lighting up? No? Alright, well, Booker is fighting for potheads everywhere with his proposed Marijuana Justice Act that would change marijuana laws to regulate it in the same way we currently regulate alcohol and tobacco. Now, we don't know whether Booker will succeed in his effort, but the statistics from Colorado and Oregon do make you wonder. If the Trump administration is genuinely interested in offering tax breaks to the hard-working middle class, as we heard throughout the campaign, why is Sessions seeking to reverse the Obama administration's relaxed approach to enforcing federal marijuana laws in states that have legalized weed? I mean, I know you guys aren't so fond of the green, but I at least would have thought that the idea of more of the other kind of green would give you a high. Oh, that's right. Really, I forgot, you guys really couldn't give a shit about what the people want. Because a recent Harvard-Harris poll shows that 57% of Americans believe that legalizing marijuana across all 50 states would make society better. And 69% said they wouldn't be bothered by pot being legal in their state. Just 37% of Americans said cannabis should only be legalized for medical purposes, while 49% of voters said marijuana should be legal for both medical and recreational use. Meanwhile, only 14% of voters said marijuana should be completely illegal. Only 14%. I mean, if my math is correct, that means there's a lot of MAGA supporting weed smokers who want to get America high again. That's an overwhelming majority of Americans who don't support what Trump's AG is doing. Whatever happened to putting America first? But the truth is, the reason people like Sessions want to continue to criminalize weed is not because of the war on drugs, it's because of fear.
Before it is too late.
Keeping weed as a Schedule 1 drug, which puts it in the same category as heroin and PCP, means people will remain afraid, because fear and conservatism go hand in hand. Fear of socialism, fear of high taxes, fear of immigrants, fear of Muslims, fear of laws favoring conservative Christian views being overturned, fear of progress. They rely on keeping their voters petrified by every little thing. So when a black man came into office and initiated efforts to decriminalize weed, they shit themselves. They don't want their voter base to understand that legalization represents progress and to figure out that there's nothing more relaxing than puffing a J. No, they want a base filled with good old-fashioned, strict Christian stiffs who are outraged and terrified at the thought of someone smoking a plant. We can only hope that Cory Booker gains widespread support from other legislators in this fight, because he's the hero potheads need, but unfortunately he's not the one making the rules. This guy is. Please, for the love of God and for the sake of this great nation, pass this old geezer a joint. Follow me on Instagram at Francis M. Maxwell and on Twitter at Francis M. Maxwell. Like, share the video, continue to resist.